Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakah Kadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Paya Allah from the GMS London camp, coming back at you again with this truth. And basically, this video is going to be called Let Your Light So Shine, okay? And that's from Matthew 5 and 16, one of the scriptures that I'm going to be going into, all right? And basically we're in a dark time where it tells you in the book of Isaiah, gross darkness cover the people, there's a veil set over the minds of the people, and we've been given the light, all right, or the revelation of Yahweh Shai, okay, which is the testimony of Yahweh Shai as the spirit of prophecy. So we've been given this word, a light, to bear before men, to basically give those who are able to be given wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay, to get the understanding of what time we're in and what things are to come, all right, and what we're to do when these things come, and basically how to be saved, all right. So now, where am I gonna go with this? I want to start with this scripture dealing with the light. This is John 8 and 12. Then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. And how do you follow Yahushua? You follow him by keeping the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, learning the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible, all right, being what Yahushua is. It's straying me, the scripture. We follow in his stead, okay? And that's how we're able to attain the light of life, okay? So now I'm going to go to the scripture. This is Matthew 5 and 14. Ye are the light of the world, okay? Now, when the earth was made, the Most High made things he made everything in doubles, one against another, as it tells you in the book of Sirach. He made hot and cold, all right, dry and wet, and day and night, which leads to dark and light, all right. It's because now that shows you that if there's a light of the world, there has to be a dark of the world, and we know that we're in a dark time. So that means that the dominating factor, the dominating people on this earth, as it tells you in Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They're basically the darkness that are covering this earth, because they have control over this earth. Now, who controls the earth? The so-called white man, who, according to the Bible, is known as Esau. All right, Esau, Edom, the red Hebrew Edomite, in accordance with the prophecies speaking of in the Bible, all right, and all the characteristics fit this man to a T, all right. So, so again, I'll read it. It says, "Ye are the light of the world." So the light of the world is who? The Israelites, okay. But then more specifically, the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect of the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and our people that are basically scattered all over the world, all over. We're talking about there could be so-called white people that are Israelites, all right? And being in England or in Europe in general, that is a big-time factor, and that's a fact, all right? Like Irish, Italians, they are, a lot of them, even really, they're in a piece of this landmass known as Europe, where you don't have our seeds scattered. Because during the Dark Ages, we ruled over this earth, we ruled over this land, okay? That's why they call it the Dark Ages, because it was dark to them but light to us, but not really light in the spirit and form of this word, all right? So, yeah, the light of the world is to the elect of the nation of Israel, the light of the world, basically, all right? A city that is set upon a hill cannot be hid, and that's what we are. The Lord has exalted us to a point where even in our low state, we're still in a high position, all right? Because these things are innate with us, all right? The Lord said he found out all the ways of wisdom and gave it unto his servant Jacob. All right, and that's what made us the former of all things. The portion of the Lord's people is Jacob, basically. All right, because he's a God of knowledge, so he gave it to us. All right, so even in our low state, we still have that spirit within us. But as it tells you in the book of Romans, that these the things that lie dormantly within our spirit, well, not dormant, because obviously the flesh has to overpower the spirit, but there's certain things, certain customs that we make unto ourselves that basically bring about that spirit, okay, of righteousness that's in alignment with the word in the scriptures, okay? And that's why we're magnified in this earth. We have certain abilities. They'll say it's down to genetics. Oh yeah, you have a good body. No, that's the spirit, right? And that has a waning a factor as well, but it's more so the spirit, because in order for you to have the ability to do these things, you have to have the mind to do it, man. And the mind is where the spirit dwells, man. Okay. So reading on. Neither did men light a candle and put it under a bushel, because the purpose of a candle when you light it is as it says, but on a candlestick, but it giveth light unto all that are in the house. All right. So the purpose for having light is for it to bring light to the whole earth. All right. So that's our purpose. Our purpose is to bring light onto the whole earth, man. All right. It tells you in the book of Isaiah, give them no rest until you make Israel praise upon the earth. All right. So within our spirit, coming in this, as Jeremiah did, man. Jeremiah said, look, man, I don't want to teach this word. But guess what? He stirred so deeply in his spirit that he couldn't help himself, and he had to push the word, man. That's what happened. It was so in him that he had to push this word, because that's the spirit, right? That light that can't be hid, right? Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. All right. So this is how we let our light. How do we let our light shine? This is the way. We go on the highways and byways, all right, and teach the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Then also, what's the other way we let our light shine before men? It's by doing these videos, all right? That's the main starting with teaching on the highways and byways, doing these videos. That's how we basically allow our light to bear witness of the works to glorify our Father. Because the reason why we have these talents and these skills is really within this word, whatever your lot is within this word, is really to show forth and magnify the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem HaRakah Kadash. That's it. Because when the Lord, we've been speaking so vehemently, so hard against his kingdom, and when the Lord comes and basically sets everything in motion, what's basically going to happen is for the fact that we've been speaking and everyone knows of us and things we've been saying, we're known for being the mouthpieces of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Then when he raises us up, it's going to magnify his name, because we were always talking about his name. That's why since Jeremiah 16:16, I'll send for many fishes and they shall fish them. Because what did Yahushai say unto Peter, Peter and Andrew, I believe. Yeah. Even John and James, I believe it was said the same thing. It was said, basically, Slakia, man, this is Satan, tongue tying me. He basically said, look, leave off from your nets, I shall make you fishers of men. Right, and they left them quickly, because basically this is the bait. The bait is the word, all right? But then we got there, since we got the bait, now we need to go to somewhere where the bait can be useful. There's no point having bait that you can put on a hook if you're not in a place where you can't utilize it. That's why we got on the highways and byways, we teach the word. We got there, we make ourselves a living sacrifice, a spectacle unto men. And then we, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, basically the Lord brings in the increase, man. We could go out there and prophesy to the wind for years and years and years. But guess what? If the Most High don't want to bring those people in, they ain't gonna be brought in. And even He could bring them in, but it could be, as it tells you in Matthew the 13th chapter, you know, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a fisherman that cast a net in the sea, and it brought forth both clean and unclean. And then when they got to the shore, they basically divided two from each other. So basically, that's how that's what we're doing out here. We're teaching the word. We're fishing for the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we ourselves get saved through the labors of our work. And that's to the glorification of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem HaRakah Kadash. So with that, man, I pray you're edified. Shalom.